Hello students. In this video we will discuss about following topics: dioxygen, methods of preparation of oxygen, physical and chemical properties of oxygen, uses of dioxygen, simple oxides and their classification, and lastly mixed oxides. So let us discuss about dioxygen now. It is the most abundant element in earth crusts and contains about 46% by mass of earth crust, and in atmosphere it is present by about 21% by volume. So first method of preparation of O2. First method is by thermal decomposition of some salts. Clear? For example, potassium chlorate, when it is heated, it will give potassium chloride plus oxygen, dioxygen. Clear? Next is potassium nitrate salt. When potassium nitrate salt it is heated, it will decompose to give KNO2, potassium nitrate plus oxygen, dioxygen, oxygen gas. And third is potassium permanganate salt. When it is heated, it will form potassium manganate, K2MnO4 plus manganese dioxide and O2. Now second method of preparation of O2 is by thermal decomposition of metals low in the electrochemical series and higher oxides of some metal. Now see, for example, silver oxide, when it is heated, it will decompose to give silver and oxygen. Similarly, when HgO it is heated, it will give Hg and O2. Similarly, when PbO2, this is the oxide of metal in their higher oxidation state, it will decompose to give PbO and O2. Similarly, this is the higher oxide of lead metal. It will also decompose to give PbO plus O2. Third method is by the thermal decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide in the presence of catalyst decomposes to form water and O2, dioxygen. And fourth method is by electrolysis of water. When the electrolysis of water is done, it will form hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen that is liberated at cathode and oxygen that is produced at anode. We have studied it in 10th class also. Till now we have studied the laboratory method of preparation of O2, and now this last fifth method is industrial method of preparation of O2. Industrially it is prepared from air by fractional distillation method. In this method, air is first liquefied at high pressure and low temperature and then subjected to fractional distillation. Nitrogen with less boiling point, that is 77 Kelvin, distills first, while oxygen with higher boiling point, that is 90 Kelvin, remains in the distillation flask. So theoretically, in this method we have to remember that O2 can also be prepared by fractional distillation of air. So let us now discuss the properties of dioxygen, O2. Firstly, we will discuss the physical properties of dioxygen and then chemical properties of dioxygen. So first of all, in physical property, first physical property is it is a colorless, odorless and tasteless gas. Clear? Okay. Second is it is slightly soluble in water and its solubility is 3.08 centimeter cube in 100 centimeter cube of water at 298 Kelvin and 1 atmosphere pressure, which is just sufficient to sustain marine and aquatic life. Means such amount of oxygen in water that is sufficient for aquatic animals for their survival. Third physical property is it liquefies at 19 Kelvin and freezes at 55 Kelvin. Liquefies means when it starts changing into liquids, and freezes at 55 Kelvin means when it starts solidifying. Fourth property is it has three stable isotopes, that are 8 oxygen 16, 8 oxygen 17 and 8 oxygen 18. 8 is atomic number, and 16, 17 and 18 are the atomic masses of their respective isotopes. Fifth and last properties, it is important property, that is it is paramagnetic in nature. O2 is, dioxygen is paramagnetic in nature. Why? Because due to the presence of unpaired electron in anti-bonding pi star 2px and pi star 2py orbital, as we have studied in class 11th in molecular orbital theory. So one the question of 1 marks that is asked, explain why O2 is paramagnetic. So its answer is due to the presence of unpaired electron in antibonding molecular orbitals. After physical properties, we will discuss the chemical properties of dioxygen. Okay, clear? As we know, the bond dissociation energy of O2 molecule, that is high, that is 493.4 kilojoule per mole, and hence the reaction of oxygen requires initiation by external heating. However, when the reaction starts, it continues on its own, due to which reactions are exothermic and liberate heat. So now we will discuss some of the chemical reactions of O2. So first chemical property of O2 first is action on litmus. So O2 has no effect on litmus solution. It means the litmus solution that remains same in its color when O2 is added to it, which shows that it is neutral in nature. So O2 is neutral because it does not change the blue litmus solution into red or red litmus solution into blue. Okay, next property is oxidation. Second chemical property of O2 is oxidation. So O2, it is a strong oxidizing agent. It oxidizes many of the metals as well as non-metals. So firstly we will discuss the chemical reactions of O2 with metals. So reaction of O2 with metals. So let us discuss these reaction. We have simple examples over here. For example, reaction with sodium react with oxygen to form sodium oxide, sodium monoxide. Simple reaction is there. And reaction of calcium with O2, calcium react with oxygen to form their respective calcium oxide. Magnesium react with oxygen to form its respective magnesium oxide. Next, reaction of aluminium with oxygen, aluminium react with oxygen to form its respective aluminium oxide. Next, reaction of iron react with oxygen to form iron oxide. Next is reaction of oxygen with non-metals, So these are also simple reactions which we have already studied. Reaction of hydrogen with oxygen, hydrogen react with oxygen to form water. Similarly, reaction of nitrogen with oxygen, nitrogen react with oxygen to form nitric oxide. Sulfur react with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Carbon react with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. And phosphorus react with oxygen to form phosphorus pentaoxide. One thing we have to note that the oxides of metals that are generally basic in nature, whereas the oxides of non-metals that are acidic in nature. Next chemical property of dioxygen is reaction of O2 with some other compounds. So what are these reactions? First, reaction of methane with O2. So methane, hydrocarbon, it react with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. As we know, whenever a hydrocarbon that is burnt in oxygen, it always form carbon dioxide and water plus heat is liberated. Similarly, a reaction of zinc sulfide with O2. Zinc sulfide react with oxygen to form zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide. Okay, we can easily balance the reactions. Next, a reaction of ammonia with O2. Ammonia react with O2 to form nitric oxide and water. Next, sulfur dioxide, it also reacts with oxygen in the presence of catalyst V2O5 to form sulfur trioxide. And next reaction is reaction of HCl with O2. So HCl also react with O2 to form chlorine and water. So all these are simple reactions which we have already studied. So this was all about chemical reactions of oxygen. After the discussion of physical and chemical property of dioxygen, now let us discuss its uses. So uses of dioxygen, very simple uses are there which you already know. First is O2 is used in oxyhydrogen and oxyacetylene torches, which are used for cutting and welding of metals, which we have also studied in 11th class. Hai na? It is also used in metallurgy to remove the impurities of metals as well as non-metals such as sulfur, carbon, nitrogen, etc., which we have studied in metallurgy chapter, in 6th chapter. Next, it is used for artificial respiration in hospitals during surgery, which we already know. And fourth use is it is used as rocket fuel, as we have studied in electrochemistry chapter in fuel cell. So next, fifth use is it is also used in making steel. So in making steel it is also used. And last, it is used to make other important compound like sulfuric acid, nitric acid, sulfur dioxide, chlorine. A number of compounds are there where this oxygen that is used for making. So this was all about the uses of oxygen. Next topic is simple oxides. So first of all, definition: the binary compound of oxygen with other elements are called simple oxides. Oxygen, it can form binary compound with metals as well as non-metals. So simple oxides, they are further classified into following 4 types. What are these classification? That are acidic oxides, basic oxides, amphoteric oxides, and neutral oxides. So next we will discuss all these oxides with the help of examples. Generally we know metals generally form basic oxides, and non-metal form acidic oxides. Let us now discuss the classification of simple oxides. First classification is acidic oxides. So what are the acidic oxides? These are the oxides which form acids when dissolved in water. Generally, oxides of non-metal are acidic. For example, carbonic acid. It is prepared by the reaction of CO2 plus H2O, H2CO3. So sulfur dioxide, when it is dissolved in water, it forms sulfurous acid. Dinitrogen pentoxide, it when dissolved in water, it forms nitric acids. So as these oxides, they are forming acids when dissolved in water, so these are the acidic oxides. And all these oxides are the oxides of non-metal. Carbon is non-metal, sulfur is non-metal, nitrogen is non-metal, and we know that the oxides of non-metals that are acidic in nature. But one exception is there. Here is one exception, as we have studied that the oxides of non-metal that are acidic in nature, but here is the exception. We have some of the metals, the oxides of whose are also acidic in nature, but when they are present in their higher oxidation state. For example, Mn2O7 oxide, this is an oxide of metal, but it is acidic in nature because it is in higher oxidation state. See, here its oxidation state of Mn is +7. Similarly, CrO3, it is an oxide of chromium metal, but it is also acidic in nature. Similarly, V2O5 is an oxide of vanadium, but it is also acidic in nature. In these oxides, the oxidation state of metal is higher. Here the oxidation state of vanadium is +5. Here the oxidation state of chromium is +6. We can calculate it. So after the discussion of acidic oxide, now let us discuss what are basic oxides. So these are the oxides which form bases when dissolved in water. For example, magnesium oxide, sodium oxide, calcium oxide, iron oxide. When sodium oxide, when it is dissolved in water, it will form sodium hydroxide, which is a base. Similarly, calcium oxide, when it is dissolved in water, it will form calcium hydroxide, which is also a base. Similarly, magnesium hydroxide, when dissolved in water, it will form magnesium hydroxide, a base. And iron oxide, when it is dissolved in water, it will form FeOH3, iron hydroxide. So all these oxides are the oxides of metals, and the oxides of metals are basic in nature because when these oxides, they are dissolved in water, they produce bases. Next, fourth oxide is neutral oxide. What is the neutral oxide? these are the oxides which are neither acidic nor basic in nature, that are called neutral oxide. For example, carbon dioxide, N2O nitrous oxide, NO nitric oxide, H2O water. So these are the neutral oxide. Neutral oxides are generally made from non-metals. They are generally made from non-metals. So next, one more definition is there, simple oxides. So what are simple oxides? After the discussion of after the discussion of simple oxides, next we have the definition of mixed oxides. So what are mixed oxides? So these are simply the oxides which are formed by the combination of two simple metal oxides. Combination of two simple metal oxides. For example, this is ferroso-ferric oxide, Fe3O4. It is a mixed oxide. Why it is a mixed oxide? Because it is formed by the combination of two simple oxides, FeO and Fe2O3. One important conditions for the combination of two simple oxide is that they must be of same metals, and they must be differs in their oxidation state. Here the oxidation state of iron is +2. Here is the oxidation state of iron is +3. So when these two simple oxides they mixed with each other, then we get this is mixed oxide, Fe3O4. Similar is the case with Fe3O4. Fe3O4, it is also a mixed oxide, and it is formed by the combination of two simple oxide, that is PbO and PbO2. Here Pb, that is in +2 oxidation state, here Pb, that is in +4 oxidation state. So when these two simple oxides they are mixing with each other, then they form mixed oxide, that is Pb3O4, which is also known as red lead. Thank you.